Hey, Dan here, and in this video I want to talk about what to do when you're feeling stuck or you're feeling trapped. Now it's all fine and dandy to have all these videos about how to build your business or marketing strategy or getting into personality type and all that. But none of that really matters in the moments when you feel trapped, right? We've all been there, first of all. Keep that in mind, right? If you're in that situation, whether it's a job or relationship, or maybe it's just emotionally, like you feel like you're stuck in a rut, know that you're not alone. And we've all been through that, likely more than once. At least I know I have myself. But how do you get out of that? And that's really what's important here, is to focus on getting out of that rut or getting out of that trap so you can feel like you're free again to make decisions and to make changes. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to use the example of someone wanting to quit a crappy job and start their own business. Now, this could apply, though, to leaving a bad relationship, to quitting college or going to college or moving cities or anything else, right? But we'll stick to this metaphor. So imagine you have someone and they're at this job that they do not like, they're not very happy with, but at the same time, they can't bring themselves to leave. Maybe it's, let's say, Pam from The Office. Yes, I'm rewatching The Office right now. Great show. So let's say we have Pam from The Office, right? She can't bring herself to leave. Usually in this case, you have a lack of motivation in either direction. And what I mean by that is, in all things in life, we're motivated by one of two things: pain or pleasure, good or bad, right? So if your job really sucks, and this is why in some of my other videos, like on an artistic pursuit and how to earn money while you're building your artistic business, is get a crappy job, one that sucks so bad that there's so much pain that you want to leave. Unfortunately, a lot of jobs aren't that bad. And I say unfortunately intentionally, that they're this job where it's okay. You can sort of get by, the coworkers are decent, you get along with people, maybe there's free pizza on Fridays, but ultimately it's not what you want to do in life, and it's not a great use of your time or your life, but it's not that painful. Now, on the other hand, you have your pleasure, what you might be drawn to. So say you worked at an okay job, but at the same time, you had an offer to go start your own business, and an investor was going to give you the money, support you, connect you with the right people, and guarantee that you'd be successful, and then you'd go live on your own private island. Pretty sure you'd have enough pleasure motivation that was pulling you forward, right? That you would quit the job and go on and do that thing, make that change, because you had positive motivation pulling you. But of course, that's not how starting your own business works. As much as I can stand here and tell you, like, you'll be able to do it, it'll be not easy, but you'll be able to do it. You have support, there's programs you can take where you're getting supported by other people and all that. There's, of course, always going to be some level of risk. So you have this pleasure you're getting pulled towards of like a fantasy of starting your own business, but there's so many unknowns until you do it that there's also fear of it not working, fear of challenges coming up, or whatever else it is, that the pleasure sort of muddied a little bit, where you have like, I want this, but I don't know if I can get it, so there's some muddied aspect to it there, right? And you have a job that's like, so, not that bad. What you need to do to make a change here is crank things up. You need to crank up the pain of the job so that it gets worse, or you need to crank up the pleasure of what it is you really want, or both. And that's going to increase your motivation. Ideally, you crank up both. You add more pain to your current situation, and you add more pleasure, pulling you to what you want to get to. And there's a couple ways you can do this. You can do it in your mind, which is effective, or you can do it in real life, which is actually even more effective, right? So in terms of your mind, it can actually just be about focusing more. So if you're going to a job you don't really like, the odds are you've adapted some mental strategies to help you, say, cope with it. We can call them these coping mechanisms, right? So you maybe think, it's not that bad. You focus on the good. Forget that. Focus on the bad. When you go into your job, focus on how much you hate your coworkers. Focus on how crummy it is getting up that early in the morning to do work you don't like. Focus on how you're stuck there for all hours of the day, even though you could finish your work in 4 or 5 hours and go home. Focus on that. Make it more painful. Make it worse. Then, on the pleasure, spend more time thinking about what if, fantasizing. You know that game we played when we were kids, decided of like, what if I won the lottery, where you just let yourself think about anything, get real free with it? Do that. So think about how great it could be and all the possibilities that when you let's say in this case, start your own business, how you could be traveling, you could be working from home, you could make your own schedule, you could have a lot more freedom. Think about that and get it really vivid in your mind, right? Allow yourself to dream and to fantasize. And that's going to give you a lot more pleasurable pull towards. So now you have more pain in the negative situation you want to leave, more pleasure in the positive situation. Then, probably you need one last thing. And I made another video about this called a keystone decision. And so let this pain and pleasure boil up. Let it affect your motivation in a good way. And then make a decision. So you can check out the other video, Keystone Decisions, on the specifics of this. But basically it's making a harsh, one-time decision that you cannot reverse, and that will commit you to following through. I heard a really good quote today that just happens to work in this video. And it was something along the lines of, life is a river, just jump in and see what happens. And it's so true, right? If you're sitting on the sidelines, like so many people, so often just sit on the sidelines, like watching the river go by, and they want to jump in. They think, I'll wait for the current to slow down. I'll wait for it to warm up or cool down or whatever that is. And that's never going to happen. That river is going to keep flowing. And you either decide to jump in and figure out how to swim once you make that change, or you stay on the sides, feeling trapped, feeling like there's nothing you can do. So that's it. Let me know in the comments below if you found this helpful, if there's a way you can apply this advice to your own life. Thanks again for watching, and do subscribe to the channel. Lots of videos coming up soon on motivation and making big life changes. Thanks for watching. See you soon.